Hello, buddy, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a replay commentary. Sorry so much about yesterday. The video that I recorded, so I had this it's called a USB. It's an audio mixer. It's the thing that I plug my microphone into, and for some reason it just like bugged out yesterday completely. So I didn't change any of my settings. I was sleeping my computer, so I didn't touch anything, and it just didn't record audio at all yesterday for some reason. So it wasn't sending any audio feed to my recording software, and it just didn't work. So I restarted it, I unplugged it, and I plugged it back in, and it worked. And I was pretty sad about that. Sorry the video didn't, I mean, it was still a good game, but I had lots of good commentary, I felt. So I'm sorry that didn't work out. Yeah, it's just tech problems, and I should have been more observant to check before I started recording. So that's my fault. Sorry, guys. Either way, I'll maybe try to make another Centaur game soon where I explain things. But this game I tried playing Spirit Breaker offlane. I'm not completely sold on Spirit Breaker yet. I think there's a couple teams that play it right now, and they might play it offlane or support. There's a game going on right now where it looked like they were playing support Spirit Breaker, so I'm not completely sure how to play him yet. This is the second game in 2 days that I had played of Spirit Breaker, and I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I think is completely good yet, but in terms of skill builds and item builds, the support Spirit Breaker that I saw today went 1-4-1, so 4 in the aura. The aura is actually pretty good right now. It gives you up to 18% movement speed for your team, and you can activate it for an extra 9% burst, which is a huge movement speed bonus for a small period of time. It does slow you down afterwards, basically. It doesn't give you as much afterwards, but I don't know. I'm not completely sure what to go. I do a mix of bash as well as charge right now because the bash was recently buffed, and now it used to scale move speed as damage as 10, 20, 30, 40. So now 2 skill points is about equivalent to the previous 3, and the 3rd skill point is very close to the 4th point. So I think I got my bash up to like 2 or 3, and then I got more charge, but I eventually finished bash. I'm just not completely sure what to do yet, and kind of the same goes for items. Spirit Breaker feels really weird to me in terms of item build, because you want a lot of movement speed because you want to chase people, you want a lot of attack speed so you can bash people. You don't really ever end up buying a damage item in most cases, in my experience. I had a lot of fun playing this game, by the way. I decided to charge the Void here because I knew that if I charged him I could stun him and that would allow me to grab the rune. So I got the rune. It was a bounty rune. It was pretty worth it, I think. I knew that Enigma's also not going to have Malefice because he's an Enigma. If he grabs Malefice, he's not going to kill me, number 1. And number 2, that would really severely hurt his jungle. So I all chatted a lot this game, tongue-in-cheek. Because the reason I was saying that is because Lich is by far the squishiest person on their team. So that was probably who I was going to be jumping after a lot. I think boots first are pretty good in Spirit Breaker here in the offlane because you have really high armor at 5 and your starting HP is massive. It's about you have 29 strength, for God's sake, at level 1. That's amazing. So having that much survivability at the start of the game is fantastic. So you can kind of get away without having a stout shield. So just try to get as many last hits as you can. Try to sap experience. Experience is really important because once you get to level 6, you have a lot more kill potential than you did previously. At this point, I definitely want to get a bash level because if I do get lucky and bash my opponent, it's going to do a lot of damage in the trade. And it'll do 22% move speed as damage, which is like, I don't know, when you get the movement speed buff, you're about 400 with boots. So 400, 20%, that's about 80 damage. It's actually a lot of magic damage at level 1. So it only stuns for 1 second, but it does, I don't know, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good bash. 1 out of 7, I think, is what 17% is, or 1 out of 8, something like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab experience. I just wanted to see. I think it kind of seemed like he pulled, but he must have just single pulled. Is what the Enigma did, which isn't the best. I don't know. I don't feel very confident about this hero right now. I felt a little weird playing him because he doesn't feel very good. It might just be because my item build isn't correct or my skill build isn't very fantastic. But I don't know. He doesn't feel very good to me right now. There was a time when Spirit Breaker was really overpowered, but it doesn't really feel like that right now. His aura is really good, I think, because that much movement speed to your team consistently is just something that is highly valued, but I just don't know. Probably should be a little careful tanking that many creeps, but with the stout shield now I should be okay. And I think this is the best way to start off your skill build, just a 1-1-1 build. Gives you a little bit of everything. Basically all the skills are pretty okay at level 1, they give you some options. I don't think that looking for dive possibilities here are really what I need to do. Like, I don't really need to be looking around the map very much. If I'm getting last hits and I'm getting solo experience, this is great. And part of this is because they only have a solo void, they don't have a support hero, so normally if this was a typical tri lane, I would actually be getting zoned by some support hero, but that wasn't really the case in this game, which is just fine here. I wanted to butter this up, and then I bashed, and I was really upset about that, but I got a second level of bash now, so this does 28% movement speed as damage, and it bashes for slightly more duration. And as I looked at this, it really doesn't scale that good anymore. It's honestly, I used to be a huge advocate of going 1-1-4, because when you do your Nether Strike, it gives you a guaranteed greater bash, so it basically gives you a huge swing when you do ulti. And also when you charge through people, it also does a greater bash on everybody. So getting your greater bash levels up are pretty important. Got a little lucky there on the bash here. Thought it was worth giving him a bash chance here. I'm pretty low on HP, so I have to be kind of careful here. Give him a hit, give him a bash, and then one more. Oh, I was so sad about that. I really thought I was going to get a kill. If I actually had 2 levels in bash there, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten him. I'm quite sure. But I really thought I was going to get him. Really thought I was going to get that kill. The other sad part is that I was kind of feeling like going for a Vanguard this game, because if you look at their heroes, they have a ton of right-click heroes, including Razor, Enigma with Eidolons, you've got Lich right-clicks, you've got Faceless Void right-clicks, you've got Prophet Trees and Prophet right-clicks. Vanguard is like the way to go. So I was kind of like, you know what, maybe I should have gone 2 bash there, or 2 charge there, because I would have had an extra 0.4 seconds of stun duration. I might have had enough time to get an extra right-click off, but at the same point, maybe my bash would have done a lot less damage. I just was a little unsure, but I was pretty sad that I ended up getting killed there. It was pretty close. So from here, I'm going to grab my Ring of Health. Again, my HP is already really high, but I am definitely going to need some magic or HP regen. Treads first is another option you can go for, or you can also get an Urn. The game that I've played Spirit Breaker, before this one I went for an Urn, and Urn is a fantastic Spirit Breaker item because you're going to be in ganks, and you're going to be ganking people, and since your damage is a little low, if you do get an Urn charge, that's 150 pure damage that you can use against your opponent later. So an Urn I think is probably core, I would say. I didn't buy one this game, but I really think I should have. But the thing is that when you buy a Vanguard, you're spending a lot of money on tankiness, and Urn is another 900 gold, and when you already spent 2,000 gold on a Vanguard, and then you still don't have treads, it kind of limits your damage, or at least it limits your bash damage, which is, you know, in some ways pretty significant, because you really do need attack speed to get more likelihoods of bashes. So getting treads is kind of important, and once you already have like 3,000 gold sunk into your hero, it feels a little weird to go back to an Urn. So I'm not completely sure what the best way to do it is, but I think in the future if I did it, I would maybe still get an Urn. I don't know, maybe Vanguard is a little too greedy. But anyways, I'm level 6 now. My skill points are basically spread out in terms of ganking, so now I should be looking for gank possibilities. This guy's actually pretty low, so I'm going to hit him a couple times first. And then if he comes back again, I'm definitely going to charge ulti him, and I should be able to get a kill.
Hello?
When he's that low, unless he backtracks, of course. If he backtracks my Nether Bash or something like that, we're gonna have trouble. But. I maybe could have gone for it before, but it looked a little iffy. Alright, if he lets me hit him first. Oh, I got 2 hits off actually. I think my ulti was maybe a little unnecessary, because I could have realistically hit him twice there and he would have died, but whatever. I got a kill on the hard carry. That's completely worth it. That's going to give me Vanguard money. And now I should be kind of unkillable, although I think I got treads first here. Yeah, I got treads first here. And the reason is because treads give you semi-comparable HP as the upgraded Vanguard does, because Vanguard gives you another 250 HP. So I could have maybe done that. I decided to do a charge here. I've got 3 levels in charge. I think I skilled that afterwards, but again, you get your movement speed up, you get your total stun duration up. Don't have to get a bash, but any right click is good. And I did actually use my Empowering Haste there right before I thought he was going to get away, because it gave me an extra 3% movement speed, which is like 10 or something. It's really not much, but it's something that could make a difference. So
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So I maxed out charge here. This is going to guarantee that I can stun important targets for a very long time. My bash is like decently leveled. You don't see, like, what I realized by playing Spirit Breaker a couple times is my old skill build of 114. It does the most damage by far if you bash, But the problem is that it's a huge gamble, because if you don't get any bashes, or if you only get one bash or something, then you're really limiting your kill potential, because the most important thing in the early game is stunning people. Basically, if you stun people, you're going to guaranteed get right clicks, and right clicks are assured. And it also allows your team to follow up as well. So if you go something like this, which this build I think is okay because of the scaling of this, it's kind of okay. 28% is pretty close to 40 for 2 skill points, and the 2.4 stun duration is just, it's great. That's a huge stun. So I don't know. This is a more safe build. It doesn't have as much damage possibility, but it's still pretty good. If I had more mana, I would definitely charge after one of those guys. That's one of the other problems I ran into by not having Urn this game, was that when you have Urn, you have an extra 50% magic regen, or mana regen, and you don't have a huge amount of int on Spear Breaker, but having the extra 50% can make the difference in making sure that you're always ready to go for charge combos. And all you need is 120 or 225 mana at pre-11. So I can Shred Switch for this, but I'm still missing a little bit. So I'm going to buy a Clarity Potion. I put it on the Courier, because I don't really want to go back to base. I'd rather be able to just fly out of Clarity and be ready to gank again. And then I'm going to fly that to the Secret Shop so that I can finish my Vanguard here. So yeah, I think it was worth going Treads before finishing the Vanguard, because I did just want to increase my attack speed by a bit. And it also gives you 8 damage. That's pretty good. And then immediately after, as soon as I get one last hit, I'll just finish the Vanguard. So the other good thing about Vanguard is a lot of people build BKBs on Spearbreaker, but what the Vanguard allows you to do is just generally tank a ton of damage. And it doesn't matter that much, because you're regenning, it increases your survivability by a huge amount. I could get a mechanism, but I don't really have a huge mana pool, so I think I'll skip that this game. That's another possibility. If you do get something like a drum, I think getting a mech is definitely a possibility, but at that point you might be better off just getting tank or attack speed up. So now I'm getting some mana, I'm going to be regenerating up slowly, and I'm going to look for a charge target here. Lich is a bit lower than Enigma is, but Enigma doesn't really have that many survivability. I think he had a Midas, yeah, he had a Midas and no boots, and then I got bashed. That was really unfortunate, especially because I also used a Clarity Potion. Oh, there's a regen though. But I did use the Clarity Potion here. Regeneration. I remember this. I was like, oh, I'll chase this guy. I unfortunately didn't get the charge off yet. I should have charged mid 100% because there was 2. I think he backtracked that one. See a little damage I'm taking? I got the courier. Unfortunately, this is... The Vanguard did a lot of work, but it only did so much. I definitely should have charged mid though. Looks like they still got the 2 mid heroes, but me dying is not so worth it. I did get the courier, so it's probably still worth it. Me dying for a courier kill is not the worst, because that gives my team 175 gold apiece. So that times 4 is like, that's like twice as much as what you get gold for a kill. The only difference is that I did give experience to the Faceless Void, so whether that trade's worth it or not, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm gonna build. I opted to go for a fast Crimson Guard here because, again, we have a lot of counters towards their damage sources, so I thought if I get a Crimson Guard, it'll make our team very survivable. And upon playing this out, I think this was a mistake, because Spearbreaker is more of a snowball gank hero. He isn't most, like, if you get a Crimson Guard and you spend 3,000 gold on a Crimson Guard, yeah, you're really tanky. I felt pretty comfortable fighting him here because I had a Vanguard, so the creeps do no damage. But unfortunately for me, I didn't really... My attack speed's really low, and his attack speed's really high. He bashed me so much at the end. That was really frustrating. That was so unfortunate. I definitely committed pretty hard to that, and that... I think going back in was fine, but I should have ran away as soon as I ultied. If I just ran away, it would have been over. I just didn't think he was... That guy bashed that crazy. Let's see, how many bash levels does he have? He has 4, so he kind of deserved it. Yeah, he pretty much deserved it, but I think he bashed a little more than way more than I thought he would, so that was kind of weird. But yeah, the problem with getting a Crimson Guard is that I'm investing all of my money on a tank item, but what I kind of need is a hybrid attack speed item. And I think what I should have done instead was, immediately after the Vanguard, was purchase a drum. I think a drum would have been the way to go. The reason that drum is so good is because, well, we'll see what I do in this fight here first. I think I maybe shouldn't have charged in there. I just should have hit him. I've got charge again in 5. I'm fine taking Eye of the Storm. That's no big deal. Give my team a little movement speed bonus here. Alright, that's pretty good. Kind of want to force him to try to black hole here. Oh, so close. And I can use the buff again if I want to. I don't really want to chase this, so I'm just going to run away now. I think this is a safe way to go. I should maybe stop using the burst so much. If I'm in like long extended team fights, I think it's better to save it. Because you're actually losing more movement speed over time by keeping it away. But at the same time, it does increase your damage against creeps. I don't know. I'm not completely sure how to do it. This second level versus this 4th level, I think it's... I don't know. I'm not sure. The skill build's kind of... I'm not sure how to do it just yet. But anyways, I finished Crimson Guard. I think I should have probably just made a drum there. Drum is actually the same price as going from a Vanguard to a Crimson Guard. It's about 1800. So I think that would have been, or 1600. I think that would have been a lot better. I just jumped in here because the Slark was getting ready to die. And yeah, this is why Vanguard's so good, because it just allows you to do this stuff. I didn't have to be full HP. I can just continue diving because I'm damage blocking up to 40 damage melee, which is amazing against like Eidolons and things like that.
Who is that?
So now my mana is pretty low, so I'll probably get out of here soon. Maybe take one camp or I'll just run all the way home.
Structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified.
I don't know. If you do go this tanky build, you should be fighting a lot, and you should be playing really aggressive, because if you play super aggressive, it forces them to use their spells and their attacks on you. And if you do that, you're taking far less damage than your allies would. And if you can do that, it allows your allies to be... It's kind of like getting a mech for your team without having a mech. We kind of got split pushed too much here. We lost our top tower for just about nothing, which is a mistake. But I also got a wand because I've still been having some slight mana problems. And usually if you're having slight mana problems on a strength hero, if you just buy a magic stick, like you're set, that's all you're going to need. Because every time somebody casts a spell, you're getting 15 more mana. And you only need like 6 charges or something to get around 100. So that means in a way, I'm increasing my mana pool by 100 with just a 200 gold item. And not to mention the extra HP it gives you. It's really, really cost efficient. It's 150 HP and 150 mana for 200 gold. And 150 HP is like a 10 strength item. Or it's like a 8 strength item, which costs you almost 1,000 gold. So it's really cost efficient to get a magic stick. Always charge on the squishier guy. But he did go invisible. So I immediately, as my charge went through and hit the void, I gave up on that. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get him without having a dust. So... Cancelled the charge, did some right click. Got another charge ready to go. I got the dust this time, so I'm happy to commit to this. Bit of a mistake here though. Should have probably just gone after the Lich. Unfortunately, I didn't hit the Enigma as well, but... Yeah, you can like charge in and out. With this much tankiness, just go in and out. It's completely fine to do that. They had a bottle, so I can't grab the bounty there. Although Slark was going to take it anyways. And now I max out my Bash, and Empowering Haste will be next. Extra movement speed on my team is great. It's great with Slark, it's good with Doom. The supports can definitely profit from it as well. It's honestly a very good aura. 18% movement speed for your team is great. So I'm going to heal and then I'm going to go back out again, just continue ganking essentially. I could TP before I charged there, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I think I did that here. Can't remember exactly. This fight didn't look very good actually. I'm going to TP because I want to get there a bit faster. Always go for the guy that's by himself if you can. Alright, and we get a good kill.
Didn't see me coming, did you?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is kind of how you get out of trouble if you're ever in a bad place. Look for something that's far away to charge and then do that. So I was pretty happy wasting their time like this. It cost me more mana, but that's okay. And thus finishes my Crimson Guard at a pretty reasonable time, and I feel like I've been pretty useful thus far. Spirit Breaker really allows you to abuse positioning when people are by themselves, because then you can do 2-on-1s very, very simply and guarantee, like, 4 seconds of stun or something like that. It's really useful. So I'm going to move towards a place where I feel like I can be closer to a team fight. And we just saw the Prophet top, so I was going to go see if he was still in the jungle. Because I still have a dust here, so if he does end up being in the area, I can be helpful with that. And I'm still getting some mana up, so I've got more than enough mana. You do have to, it does cost slightly more to use level 2 Nether Strike though, so be aware of that. Costs 150 instead of 125. Here on out, attack speed items are the way to go though, usually. Or more taking this. We do actually have a drum on Doom, so I didn't completely screw my team by not buying one. But almost always getting a drum is the right thing, because remember, your bash does damage based on what your movement speed is. So if you increase your movement speed with a drum, it's a way to go. Another item build that you could do if you want to go more damage but be less tanky is you can go for a Mask of Madness, because that increases your attack speed and your movement speed. So when you bash, it does more damage because you're running faster, and you attack faster, so you're more likely to bash. So Mask of Madness is like perfectly synergistic with Spirit Breaker, but the problem is that it makes you not very tanky. I was like really trying to ulti this guy, and I used my Crimson here, but this is not a good fight. Looking to see if I can help out in any way, but that's like a super dead guy. So one of the ways that they changed charge recently is that it used to be like a 30-something second cooldown, but now this is the worst. I actually stopped attacking it just when my attack damage got changed. I wasn't looking at that though. I just saw the free courier and I was like, oh my god, I can kill it. And I bashed it, but couriers are resistant, very resistant to magic damage, so you have to do physical. And since Razor sapped all my damage and didn't do anything, I knew that after I hit it once, they were going to react and my chances of killing it were very low, so it was much safer just to back. So yeah, I spent about 3,000 gold on just a tanky item, and thus far it's pretty much worked. I've been in a lot of really dangerous situations and I've still lived, so I don't know. It's kind of up to you which kind of Spirit Breaker that you want to play, but I feel like if you go for a carry build like Mask of Madness with attack speed, and you snowball, it's by far stronger. But if you don't snowball, you're in a bad spot, kind of, unless you play really safe. Because if you go with like that snowball build with Mask of Madness and they just 5-man for the rest of the game, then it's hard for you to initiate properly. You kind of have to get a BKB before you can be useful again. If you don't get a BKB, then you're just going to die in fights really fast because of the mask. So if you go a tanky build like this and you get a little behind, I still feel like you're useful, especially because you can buff your allies with the Crimson Guard. So that's kind of something that you have to be aware of. And again, this was just a really good game for me to go tankiness because they had so many right clicks. So I really felt like this was an okay build. Now I wasn't sure if I was going to get this kill or not. I still had a vision of him for some reason. Unfortunately I got stuck in the trees. And unfortunately that Sprout as well was able to block me, so I'm not going to be able to get that kill. But that's not too bad. It's not a bad thing to attempt stuff like that if you know that you are a super tanky hero and you can probably get away with like 4 seconds of uncontested attacking. It cost me a dust and my time, but I wasted his time. He has to go back and heal, and we also got a TP out of Enigma, who had to stop whatever he was doing. So that's basically what it means to create space. You want to force them to do something that they didn't necessarily want to do, and maybe use some of their allies to back them up. If I didn't get stuck in the trees, I definitely would have killed that guy, basically. And I kind of think that's stupid. I wish that the trees, like if you charge into somebody and you hit them, it should at least break trees in a small area around Spirit Breaker. I think that's a big mistake. Because like it's so common that you could get stuck like that. If somebody happens to be on the other side of a tree, if the tree line is between you and them where the line hits, then you could just get stuck on the opposite side. The same kind of goes for like cliffs and things. I mean, I was still able to get close to him using my ulti, but I felt a little unfair about that. There's some fighting going on mid that I wasn't paying attention to quite at the right time, so. The fight's pretty disengaged. I don't really. Alright, looks like I'm going for it. not sure if this is the right idea. I think I ultied a little too early as well. But it worked. It was good. Got a kill. Everybody's kind of low. That was alright. My attack speed's still pretty low, but again, I'm really just like a magic nuker. Every 70 seconds I can go on one of their squishy heroes and give them a lot of trouble. If you're wondering how to counter this, the best way is just to go magic immune. By far. Unfortunately I didn't have my dust here, so... Although I couldn't steal the bounty ring, which I felt good about. Since I have no dust, there's no way I can kill the guy. And I don't even have my ulti anyways, so... Me being able to snag that kill is going to be quite difficult. But... It really helps when you're playing Spirit Breaker and you have an aggressive ally, though. It's really, really good. Slark was actually playing quite aggressive this game, and I was able to also back him up with stuns and a bit of extra damage that he wouldn't have had otherwise. So I have something coming to me. I think this is the dust. I also have an AC queued up because I think AC is a really good way to transition out of this. If you're really tanky, add some more tank to it. Adding attack speed to it as well is pretty good. I knew that guy was... The Void was going to die, so I wanted to follow up on somebody else. Got a lucky bash here. Got 2 bashes, actually. So yeah, if they keep continuing to be aggressive, I just show up. I add a 2.4 second stun. I add like... What's my movement speed like? It's probably like 405 when this bash to 421, so... 40% of that is 40 times 4, which is 160 magic damage. That's pretty good. 160 well, it's not amazing, but 160 magic damage plus a couple right clicks is pretty solid.
Middle tower is under attack.
And it's such slow cooldown now that you can constantly fight. In the past, Spirit Breaker was so limited by cooldowns. You had 30 seconds on charge, you had like 70 seconds on your ulti, which just constantly felt weird. This looks like a black hole. They're not doing a very good job grouping and fighting us together, I feel. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to build an AEC, partially because the armor is great, partially because it supports my allies, it gives them all attack speed and armor, and also because it gives me a ton of attack speed. Hyperstone is generally the first thing that I would buy in the AC if I'm at all ahead, because the attack speed gives me more bash chances, and more bashes means more damage, and movement speed, I guess. I felt a little underwhelmed with this build though, because I really felt like I should have been able to transition to a carry, but I wasn't able to, and that's because of the items that I bought. If I would have just gone Vanguard into AC, or Vanguard Drum into AC, I might have better been able to do that, but I didn't go that build, so not too surprising here. I was definitely more of a utility stun tank, is what I did, with some damage. With like a moderate amount of damage. That's kind of how I felt about this build. It was good. But it didn't really let me snowball, so if you're playing in a game, like a lower level game where everybody's really bad, I'd recommend going snowball items and then learning how to play that correctly, rather than go a tank build like this, and rely on your allies, because this build that I did here was a lot better for... I had to check for Blink Daggers. That was not worth it. I thought I was maybe going to be able to save the line there, but it didn't happen. So I also should have used the Crimson Guard before I started the dive, because I would have blocked got 100 HP from the line. Maybe it would have worked out, but that was just a bad fight. I can't jump that close to an ally when they have a Lich on the enemy team. That was just a bad choice. Should have just ditched the team, basically. That was a really good opportunity to ditch. The Prophet actually does pretty good damage. Shadowblade Orchid, Midas Phase is pretty good right click. Tinker was not very good. I don't think he should have doomed him. That could have just been a level death, but whatever. I was thinking about charging him, but he has an egg, so he's pretty tanky. This guy's a little less tanky. I'm not sure if I can kill him or not, but I figured I'd do some damage. I didn't actually think I was gonna get that. Alright, and this is basically the point where getting this kill is pretty unlikely. And again, if I had slightly more snowball items, I definitely would have gotten that kill. Like, guaranteed. If I had a Mask of Madness or something, that would have been a kill. 100%, but I don't know. I got pretty lucky on Bashes, I think. He also should have static linked before he tried TPing. That would have been good. Because then by the time, if I did bash him, I would have had like a ton of damage zapped and he maybe could have tried killing me. But again, I didn't get a kill, but I'm still doing good space creation. I had to send Razor all the way back. He has to stop farming. You know, even Prophet probably spent a little bit of his time considering if he wanted to come. And all I lost was my ulti cooldown, and it's already off cooldown again. I think it's down to 50 seconds at level 3. 60 seconds? Yeah, it's pretty low cooldown. 350 bonus damage, plus it does a greater bash, so it does like, it's like a 500 or 600 magic damage nuke plus a stun, so it's good. It's a pretty good spell. It's okay. So I'm just gonna hide and look for an initiation. Prophet's doing a bunch of annoying things. Probably shouldn't have been running into the rune spots like this. I think Slark mentioned they had a rune spot here, or a rune there. We could see it dead. It was like right, it was like right here. It died. But you can't really. You probably if you're looking for ganks like that, you kind of have to be careful to do them. This fight was really stupid. I should have charged bottom right here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a little late to do it, and then he Malphus me, so I bought up because I knew I was gonna die. The problem is that I hate fights like that so much. It's like two people or one or two people who are way too out of position and forward. They'll get engaged upon by a tier 2 tower, so their whole team can TP immediately. But if we have allies around the map, and we had like one person here and one person here, and they slowly came, and I had to charge all the way across the map, which takes forever. In those kind of fights, I feel obligated to show up, but I probably shouldn't have. I got the Lich kill, but it turned from a 2 to 4 or 2 to 5 or something. It turned from a 1 to 4 to a 2 to 5, which I don't think is worth it. Not for like a Lich. Lich was their mid hero, but he's not. He's like a support hero right now. He's level 17, but I don't think getting that kill was worth it. I could have been farming that whole time, you know. That lane would have been pushed out farther. I could have pressured their racks or something. I would have gotten way more gold, I think. Because we basically traded. I gave my gold for Lich's gold, but I could have gotten tons of last hits, which would have been worth it. I would have gotten way more gold if I just stayed. The Tinker was stupid and he flamed me and said like, oh, you were late, but it was like, that was a stupid place to get engaged upon. And I mean, doomed the guy, which was cool, I guess, but I don't know. That fight wasn't very good. I'm all out tankier now with the plate mill, and I'm just gonna finish the AC. Again, the problem that I don't like about Spirit Breaker very much is I feel like I'm never increasing my damage while I increase my attack speed and tankiness. It's like you need three things. Sanjin Yasha is kind of a good example of an item that gives you attack speed and damage, and slight tankiness, but it's not really a very good Spirit Breaker item. I had some success in the past going like Vanguard Mjolnir maybe or something like that. I thought was pretty good, but Maelstrom is actually pretty good on Spirit Breaker. I mean, all of your damage is already magic, so it's a little weird, but going straight on the Razor here. I don't know if he's going to BKB or not. Yeah, he did BKB in time, so I don't want to target him. I just wanted to stick around for the XP and the experience in the gold. So that was good. I tanked a ton of damage. I took the I stun the Razor right at the start. I stun the Enigma to prevent him from black holing for a period of time, which is worth it. It's definitely worth it just to throw yourself on the Enigma once in a while, because he's going to be looking for black holes at all the time, basically. So just stunning him is good. And then I finished off the Prophet, and then I targeted the Lich as well, and just stayed alive. I mean, I basically tanked 2,000 points worth of damage and stayed alive, so I've basically done my job quite well this game, I think. It doesn't look as flashy as like a hard carry does, but there's a lot to be said about playing aggressive, tanking damage, and then surviving. It's really good if you can do that. So this will be my AC. Lots of attack speed. Minus armor for our opponents. Oh yeah, by the way, the reason that you don't continue going on a Razor when he BKBs is because almost all of Spirit Breaker's damage is magical, especially this game. And that's one reason why AC is really not even the best item, is because your Bash is magical damage, and Great Nether Strike is magical damage. So if somebody BKBs, you can still stun them, but you're not getting the bonus damage. So it's really not worth Nether Striking a BKB target unless you're interrupting a TP or something like that. Really, really not worth it. So, and that's one of the reasons why AC is a good item, but it doesn't stack amazingly well. In some ways, Mjolnir is better because it gives you more attack speed, and it just gives you magic damage. And AC reduces armor, which means that your Bash doesn't do more damage. Your Bash doesn't do more damage because they have less armor. Just your right click does, but my right click isn't very stacked. That's why this build isn't amazing. Maybe I should have just gone Mjolnir. I'm not sure. I think this was an AC game because I was pretty settled on being the tanky disable people role. But if you're going for a snowball build, I think Mjolnir is better than AC is. You should probably get at least a plate mill if you're going a DPS build, because you will need some survivability. But going on Void is good here. If he chronos me, I'm pretty much not gonna die. That was good. Yeah, it's fine if he chronos me, because there's no way the Void can kill me, because his item build is pretty behind. He's also going Ags, which means his damage is very, very limited. Doesn't matter if he has a Maelstrom and a Mask of Madness, he's not going to kill me. So, initiate on him is really good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm just going to sit up here to look for the charges.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't like my camera positioning very much in this fight. It was kind of scary for us to look at high ground positions.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think part of the problem is that our Doom didn't have a Blink Dagger. Yeah, he didn't. You have to get a Blink Dagger if you're playing Doombringer. You can't just go without it. It doesn't work like that. Like, you have to be able to Blink Doom somebody. If you're just walking in before you Doom, you're never going to land. You basically don't get to take the moment of surprise that you kind of want to. I was looking to see if I wanted to charge one of these guys. I pretty much always charge the Razor. I think this is an okay fight. I charged that a little early. I got really lucky there. I ate the Lich ulti. I was grouped up with my allies, and he threw the Lich ulti, and then as I teleported to get behind the Razor, I was far away from everybody, so it didn't bounce at all. It was perfect. I was trying to time the Nether Strike on when his BKB ended so that I did the damage, but I messed it up. And now since my HP is low, I'm going to go back and heal anyway, so I might as well go charge and stop the split push. It's one of the really nice things about Spirit Breaker. You really don't need TP scrolls very much. It's just, it's more like if it's really time sensitive, you can get somewhere a little faster. And actually, it was also a little counterproductive to have both me and Tinker on the same team, because he could do the same thing as me. But we were able to get the mid racks in the meantime. I maybe should have stayed mid. Also, because I was playing very tanky here, I was like, I could buy a damage item like an MKB or something, but it's not really giving me that much damage increase. Maybe I should just buy something that leverages my HP for damage, which is a Blade Mail. So if you get a blade mail against a lich, if I don't have any magic resistance, it's actually pretty good because I'll reflect a large amount of damage towards them. I decided to buy the broadsword first because my right click damage is very low. So I thought it was better if I went for that. And then again, here's Prophet. I'll go for the charge on him. Happy to get this a shot. Probably hit some of the creeps along the way, which is one of the problems because they're going to see me coming. So he will know that I'm coming. We'll see what he does to react. I'm curious what his team did, if anything. I don't even know if he noticed. Maybe he didn't notice. Sometimes you just gotta believe, guys. I just got a little lucky. I bashed him like 3 times in like 6 hits, which is huge. That's a lot of bashes. And it worked out and I got a kill. And if you go the tanky build, that's normal. Like, you may not get the kill, but you're not really as threatened to do it, so you can play a little bit more aggressive. So maybe if you're like, if you don't feel very strong at your decision making, maybe tankiness is the way to go, because you can get yourself in dangerous situations and it'll still end up okay. You know? So now I have 3 sets of armor that I'm wearing. Again, wait for the Lich to use his abilities. Drop the blade mill, reflects him out. I don't really know where I was charging to, Ancients or something. The int on the blade mill is pretty wasted here because I don't really need any more intelligence. But the other stuff's okay. It's a good chrono. I was like mini stunned for so long. It was very weird. I didn't know what that was. That really confused me. He could have fingered him. It's a little bit of a mistake from the lane. He was able to get the Prophet first, but I was a little too greedy to go under the tower when they're all grouped like that. I did use my blade mail, but it did very little because Void's damage is so weak that I didn't take any damage, so I didn't reflect any damage really. So maybe I shouldn't use the blade mail just yet. Maybe I should have waited a moment longer or waited till afterwards. The main thing that killed me, I'm sure, was Midnight Pulse. This Doom's kind of just running in circles. Tinker was really good. Oh hey, I've been alive for like 20 minutes probably. So for now I'll just go farm for a bit.
Why is it a only female thing?
Dude, I have so much armor right now. Look at this. Got an AC and a blade mail. I have like 40 armor. That's so much. That's amazing. Vlad's would also be an option instead of blade mail if you wanted to buff your team up a little bit and give them lifesteal. Vlad's is okay. It's again pretty good against this lineup because Enigma, Razor, Faceless Void, and Prophet all have a lot of right clicks. With Eidolons, that is. So all that armor is pretty useful. This build wouldn't work as well against like a disable heavy team. Luckily for me, they didn't have a lot of disables, so I didn't really have to get a BKB. This one I was just focused on attack speed and tankiness. Oh man, everybody was like so about stealing my last hits this game. It was really annoying. And then I checked their items and they like didn't even have that much. It's not like they were super close to an item. That was frustrating. So I'm just gonna hide in here. Wait to see. I was like waiting to get a charge off on this guy, but he wasn't showing. Oh, I remember this. I didn't really want to ulti him. I made a mistake, guys. I should have charged him, or I should have ultied him. If I would have ultied him, we probably would have killed him. That was a good chrono, though. Against their kind of teamfight heroes, you can't really be that greedy, basically, especially when they're kind of close to a base. Just it was a nice play by them, but it was too greedy by me. I was just trying to save my ulti. I figured he might chain frost this, and that's why I popped my blade mail. I was like, fine, chain frost this, I'll reflect and you'll die, you know? But then he just absolutely wrecked my line as well, because of the chrono. I didn't think the chrono was gonna come. That's what I didn't predict. So, game kind of slowed down here, but I have a lot of really farmed cores, so it's okay. See if my mic's still working. Tap, tap. It is. That's good. I'm gonna be really paranoid about that now to make sure it's not freaking out, breaking my VODs. Doom is quite farmed. I think he's building an AC here, which is a little redundant. God, I was dead for so long. Everybody gets so much experience now.
Okay, let's go.
In the new Dota. It's got to keep carrying a dust just for the profit. Definitely the fastest way to get to lane is to charge a creep. Always go for the range creep because those won't die. I noticed a little bit of weirdness, like if I A-click the ground, my hero would just stop attacking a lot. It's very weird. It's like you could only kill a few creeps before he would stop. It's like very random. Some like weird programming bugs or something. I don't know. It was very peculiar. Can't charge him because he's BKB'd. You guys are not very good at the whole split up thing. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
And it does so much damage. It's actually pretty amazing. 350 plus the bash. So good. You can do it so often now. And Spirit Breaker's kind of okay, but I just think there's much better heroes in the game for team fights. Spirit Breaker is really good for pubs, I think, because you can just continue to target solo heroes, but I just don't see why you wouldn't just get a Tide Hunter or something, you know? Tide Hunter lane's a lot better as well. This is a bit of a... I was thinking about something else when I don't know, I don't know if that was partially bugged or not, I don't remember. I remember being very confused about why I stood still for so long. But I think it was player error, nothing else. I think I was thinking about what to buy or something, I don't remember. Yes, okay, so we got the Rex. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, because my hero's dead for like a really long time. Slark's doing Slark things. And he dies, so we're all dead and we're just waiting. Blah 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 blah. Alright, I got a Maelstrom and I sold... I don't remember what, my TP scroll or something. This is the old Maelstrom. It's okay. Gives you attack speed, gives you a little bit of damage. It's a good item for Spirit Breaker, I think. Mjolnir's really good as well, because if you do go a semi-tanky build with it, then anytime that you get attacked, you have a chance to do magic damage, which is good. The hero's pretty committed to doing magic damage though, so he is fairly countered by BKBs. If you're ever playing against Spirit Breaker, like a hero that doesn't have a good way to get away, like a Luna, if you're playing Luna against a Spirit Breaker, you have to rush a BKB, because anytime he charges in on you, just BKB and ulti, because the charge will stun you, but it won't do damage, and his ulti will stun you, but it won't do damage, and that's really all you gotta stop. As long as you stop his burst damage on the hero that you want to keep alive, then you're gonna be just fine. I didn't really want to go super hard until the Slark was back, basically. Although we maybe could have. It's gonna move in slowly here. Also kind of wanted to get another Hyperstone.
Oh boy.
Attack speed is good and things.
No! Are you serious?
Slark back? Oh yeah, Slark is there.
There were too many creeps?
So we're kind of just waiting for everybody. And I'm gonna continue jungling. Does this guy want the game then? I'm not sure. Still kind of looking for charge targets. It's fine for me to go to the shop like this, because it's only going to delay my initiation by like a second or two, which is, you know, not that bad. I'll sell my dust here. Alright, so I more or less have a Mjolnir. Let's target a squishy. Be right in. And that didn't look like a good opportunity, so. Give it a little blade mail. Run away.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's Ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
Okay. So much all chat this game. I played this game at like 2 AM or something, and it was on C server, so it was very weird. Very weird game. Anyways, I think that's about how to play Spirit Breaker. That's the tanky way. Get tanky items, get treads, go around charging people. Make sure you utilize your ulti whenever it's up. Look for kills, because you have a lot of burst damage. So if you have like any hero that has kill potential, put a Spirit Breaker on top of it. You're almost always going to kill somebody, unless they're like a mega tank hero or they have like phase shift. Puck is a good counter. Anybody that can silence him on the way, or, well, it has to be a stun actually. Anybody that can stun Spirit Breaker on the way, try to charge through trees usually. That way, and don't run through common ward spots. If you do have to go through a ward spot, make sure you smoke yourself first. That's another option. So, that's it for the game. That's Spirit Breaker. Sorry again about yesterday's video, but at least I'm pumping out videos now. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.